Okay, good afternoon everyone. Just a quick update. This video goes along with the memo that I'll circulate on Blackboard for your Informal 4. Please note that this Informal counts out of 20. So please try and look at what I've done. If you do not understand, please mail me and I'll correspond to you with regard to that. But I'll post the memo on Blackboard for you. Okay, so looking at the question, so the question basically gives you the table that's here, and it asks you to plot this on an arrow diagram. Okay, now everyone basically got this right. I didn't. This was fairly straightforward. This is third year work, but basically what you do is you take your you plot your A, and you see that it's got a duration of 5 days. So going into each direction, so A is connected to B and C, so we can see that it splits into B and C, and we've got the duration of 5 days. Then we look at B and C, so B is followed by D, so B is followed by D. Okay, and then let's go to D. D is followed by G, or G is preceded by D and E, as we've got here. So we've got that line drawn, and then we've got C is preceded by both E and F, so followed by E and F, which we find there. Okay, and then we've got okay, so we've done G, and then we've got H, which is preceded by F, okay, which we've got there. Okay, and then we've got I, which is preceded by both G and H, so I is preceded by G and F. Okay, G and H, sorry. Okay, and then you just put in the durations there, and it's fairly straightforward. I do it slightly differently. Some of you put the durations on the items itself. That's not a problem. It's just how you see it. But the main thing that we want to get to is we want to calculate the duration, which is and the critical path. So how we calculate the critical path is we take start from the end. Let's do this in green. So we start from the end and we take the longest route. So basically all that we do is we take the three routes that we've got, possible routes. So we've got I, G, D, B, and A, and we add those together. So in this instance it's the green one that we've calculated, so it's green all the way here. Okay, and remember to add that 6 here, so we get to 24. Okay, and then the red line is, red line is there. Okay, and then let me see if I can't erase that. Okay, so then we go to G, E, 3, 5, add those together, get 26. Okay, and then the same with the last one is I, H, F, C, and A, and it gives us 21. Okay, so basically we established that yes, our critical path is 26 days, so that's our longest path, and from that we can calculate our cost per item. So that's what we use that for. So we take 3,000 and we times it with 26, which gives us, just do it quickly here, 26 times 3,000, which gives us 78,000 plus the 84,000, that's 162,000. Okay, so everyone I think got to that point. That was fairly straightforward. Then what we do secondly is we keep it in that table form, It's just easier if you keep it in a table form when you do your rankings. And what I did here is I just used the table and I calculated the cost slope for each one of them. So the cost slope, if you remember correctly, is calculated as per the book. Some of you guys actually quoted quite well, but if you want to have a look at it, please have a look on page 187, and you will see that the increase in cost over the reduction in time will give you your cost slope, or in other words, it's your cash cost less your normal cost divided by your normal time less your cash time. So basically your crash time. So what we do is we calculate each one of those, and let me just get to that memo. So basically what you've got is you've got your 16,000, your crash cost is 16,000 minus your normal cost, so your crash cost over your normal cost, okay, will give you your crash cost divided by, or your increasing cost divided by your crash time, or your normal time minus your crash time, which is 1. So you have an increase of 3,000 rand here. Okay, so and then we do that for the other one on our critical path. So we look at C and we identify we've got a 8,000 rand or a 2,000 rand difference here, and then for our next item we've got a 5,000. It's 5,000 overall divided by 2, so it's 2,500. Okay, and then we've got our other item highlighted on the critical path of G. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I just put my phone on silent. So yes, you basically go through the motions. I've just highlighted the items now highlighted on the critical path. That's the yellow highlighted items, or red, and then the yellow highlighted items is basically the ones that we will be looking at for our float, which is applicable. So what we do is you basically do your cost slope for all of the items. So you work out your cost slope for all of these, and you rank them. Although you only have to do it on for your critical path items, because that's it's not necessary to do the others. So I just included it here to give you an idea. So all the ones marked in red, writing, or 0 here is our critical path items. Okay, so what you do then from your cost slope is you rank your items. So item C has the least cost, so it's ranked as number 1. Item E is ranked as second because it has the second lowest cost slope, and then item rank number 3 is your item A with 3,000. Okay, and your item 4 is ranked as item I because it has a cost of 5,000. Okay, and then for completeness, item G, which has a cost implication of 6,000 rand, and is thus ranked 5. So what we do is we want to reduce our project with 5 weeks. So what I just did here is to show you that if you do add all of these items highlighted in yellow, you will get to 6 days or 6 weeks, and thus we need to one of our items or weeks that we're going to do is we don't have to use the full one. Okay, so basically starting from our first one, we reduce our items, our cost saving is 1 week, so we save 2,000 rand there. Then on our second ranked item, we can save 2 weeks on that one, which has a cost implication of 5,000 rand. Our third item is, item, we can save 1 week again, and it has a cost implication of 3,000 rand. Okay, and so now we're currently at 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. I'm just adding those. Sorry, you can't see my cursor. So I just highlighted those. So we've dialed that with 1 to items ranked to 1 to 3, and so far we have saved 4 weeks. So we need to save 1 more week. So you will see our next ranked item is item I, and we only have to save 1 week here. Thus, we don't times it with 2. Here we only times it with 1, so we have an additional cost of 15,000 rand if we add all of these together. Okay, so we've got our additional variable costs that we calculated. Okay, you will see only half used, that's why it's there. And our cost saving is 5 times our 3 weeks here. So we have a saving of 15,000, and we have an addition of 15,000, and thus we have a cost implication of 0, and thus our project cost stays at 162,000. Okay, so please make sure that you do have a look at the presentation or the slides of the previous ones if you do struggle with the cost slope, how to calculate that. But you can see that on page 187. Also note that this is exactly the same as the example that starts on 186, so please be aware of that. Okay, thank you guys. Like I said, please mail me if you do have any questions. Bye.